Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Crawford, and I've had the pleasure of CJ's company this afternoon as Fulham finished their pre-season preparations with a slender 1-0 win over Eintracht Frankfurt. A fabulous free kick from Raul Jimenez, and CJ, we watched it from the Riverside. What are one of your takeaways? I know is that it's good that Andreas Pereira isn't taking the free kicks
Thank God.
anymore, isn't it?
Thank God, mate. Listen, I think that we've seen within recent weeks, within three consecutive games, Dan, we've seen three consecutive goals from set pieces. We saw last season Fulham got only three goals from set pieces all of last season. That was the worst in the Premier League. And maybe while we haven't got that set piece coach we were once crying out for, it seems that maybe just giving the ball to your dead ball specialist would give you some success when you have a dead ball situation.
Doesn't take Einstein to work it out, does it?
It doesn't.
So Jimenez looks really sharp today, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
and what we understand is that everybody played today, but the players who didn't feature in this fixture this afternoon played in a behind closed doors friendly at Mosper Park, which Eintracht won 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple of things we do need to talk about. Firstly, as you've written for us on Hammy End and later on London's original, God Save Josh King.
God save Josh King. I think that for me, Josh before this game was cemented as our pre-season player of the season. I think that this performance just cements that.
Harsh on Harry though. I did say that to you the other day.
Listen,
Given the number of goals and contributions he made, you've got to put Wilson up there. But let's talk about how Josh King absolutely ran that game from the number 10.
well, Harry, we know what we can do well. As Josh, I think that we are just seeing it, the starting of it now. Josh did what he's done all pre-season. He was demanding the ball from players 10 years his senior. He was beating players on the half 10. He was playing those really creative balls in behind that sort of broke down that Frankfurt defence numerous times. I think that is what Fulham lacked last season. That is what Fulham will need this season. And for me, Josh King is the answer. I'm sure you sort of agree, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of things, a couple of Gaza-like runs with the ball at his feet. Young Gaza, time just sort of taking the ball past some very experienced defenders,
driving it direct.
Really going at the opposition, and it frightens people when you've got a young talent and you don't know what he's going to do. He made a great chance for Alex Iwobi towards the end of the first half, and the only criticism would be that he didn't toe poke that one in from very close in. But it was a compelling display, and it'll be very difficult now for Marco Silva to leave him out at the Amex on Saturday. The other one we need to talk about, Ryan Sessegnon did limp off with what looked like a hamstring problem, but mercifully we've seen him walking around, and he walked around to the dugout in the second half. Thumbs up to people. It is a real relief that doesn't seem to be a serious problem for Ryan Sessegnon, given that, as you pointed out yesterday, Anthony Robinson still yet to feature in an actual match, and we do lack a little bit of depth, don't we?
We do, but I thought, to be fair to Sam Misa, the man who came on for Ryan, he deputised very, very well. Especially when you consider that he's a centre half who's right-footed, deputising at left back. I thought that the young man was very impressive. But I wouldn't say that he'll be the man that sort of replaces him on the south coast. Say that Robinson doesn't start, despite him starting in the behind closed doors friendly earlier today. Who would you suggest?
Well, I think Timothy Castagna. Sorry, just on that point, I think Timothy Castagna would come in. Has proven himself capable on both flanks. I thought there were some really interesting performances. It was nice to see that Wilson Tete link up that we might have consigned to the history books. We're all worried about him going to Everton. A couple of nice touches from Tom Kearney, and I thought there was real solidity from Joachim Andersen.
Yeah.
With his new, he's obviously modelling his number one or number two on you.
Can you blame him?
Well, I don't know, ladies. Can you blame him?
The answer is no.
And if you have to tell them, then you know.
Yeah, but for you ladies, Dan.
Yeah, fair enough. And Calvin Bassey as well, very assured. Apart from that first sort of 10 minutes or so, a couple of really good saves from Bernd Leno, getting down low, something he wasn't doing as well last season at times. It wasn't the most convincing of performances, but there's enough there to see those patterns of play that we've come to enjoy, isn't there?
I agree. The only thing that I would sort of counter it with, Dan, I think we said this quite early in the first half, where that first 15 or so, 20 minutes where Fulham looked a bit lacklustre, that we did sort of we did sort of in midfield where we were a bit too easy to break down for me. Frankfurt, well, a bit like a knife through butter for the first 15-20 minutes. As soon as they broke, Fulham couldn't really have that defensive solidity to sort of stop their attack, and I think that is something that Fulham do need to identify and go and solve in this summer transfer window.
Yeah, and that's the other thing to come out of the last 24 hours, isn't it? Marco Silva not very happy with the lack of bodies coming in. It's probably not what he was promised. Well, in fact, we know it's not what he was promised. And you've got to wonder, and I know you've been consistent on this, are they actually going to back one of the best managers Fulham have ever had with substantial cash and signings? Would it have helped to have those people in earlier? And we're just seeing the quotes coming through from Marco Silva's press conference. So we'll bring those to you shortly. Pleasure to spend the day with you, CJ, and plenty of things to smile about in another Fulham win. What are your final takeaways then from this afternoon?
Final takeaways. Listen, I'll just give you one more. I think that we sort of spoke on Harry Wilson for the first few minutes. I think Harry, once again, I think that Fulham look a different team with Harry Wilson in it. That would sort of be my final takeaway. That I think that Harry is the key to Fulham being unlocked this season. Him and Josh King, I think, especially. I'm sure you agree, Dan. But for me, it is onwards and upwards. And I think this press conference coming up will be quite interesting, Dan. I'm sure you agree.
Oh, 100%. I just think that interchange behind the front main striker is really important. If you can get bodies in that final third, I think we can score goals. And we do. The only problem, of course, is what you talked about, that palatial blades of grass in front of the back four. You want to make sure, especially if you're playing Anderson, that there's someone in there snapping into tackles. But I'm sure that will come, and we've got plenty to be optimistic about heading down to the South Coast for Saturday, haven't we?
Indeed, Dan. Listen, should we leave it there?
Let's leave it there.
Let's get to a curry, Dan. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely, mate. Come on, you whites.
Come on, you whites.